So basically, it took a bunch of nutcases in Arizona, of racist nutcases, basically, to push draconian laws onto their own state and population in order to elicit a response from Democrats. This really takes the cake, my friends. Because if you still believe that the Democratic Party is your friend as a working person, or let's just say a freedom-loving person, or let's go even further, an independent thinker, then you're very much mistaken. So here's the Democratic leadership for you. They have come up with a proposal, and this is coming from Chuck Schumer, no less, a Democrat, which is now countering the Arizona law with its own proposals, saying that, you know what, this shouldn't be a discriminatory law. Let's make it better. So let's just have an ID card for all workers in the United States, so that it's all across the board, you know. Basically, it's an ID requirement for every person who works in the United States, legally, mind you, in order to prove their identity via biometric data. Now, of course, right now, this is just fingerprints and so on. Eventually, it will involve iris scans, DNA stuff, and all the other biometric data that's out there. If this is some sort of a counter proposal to the draconian legislation in Arizona, then you know what? You only have to laugh at this. Basically, I guess it's going to take the Democratic Party to the leadership, I might say, of the Democratic Party to usher in the most ridiculous legislation within the last 30 years. I mean, they've been working their way up to this, of course, ever since NAFTA. And anybody on a progressive site like, or so-called progressive site like DECOS, who even mentions any type of criticism towards these policies will immediately be attacked. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not ever going to vote for a Republican. But I also will not automatically vote for a Democrat anymore. Because you know what? The Democratic Party has sold out. They have gone completely corporate. They don't stand for average or ordinary people anymore, like they used to, 40 years ago. They don't. They basically do everything in their power to kiss up to the lobbyists, and you can hear all these beautiful speeches from Obama, even to this day, which denounce, he denounces corporatism and all this stuff. But what does he do? What are the actual policies like? Is he firing anybody in his economic team who is appeasing these corporations? No, he's not doing that. So basically, what the Democratic Party represents at this point is a slow motion disaster rather than a quicker disaster under the Republican leadership. So all I can tell you is that's why I left the party. It no longer represents me or my viewpoints or anybody that I know. Building movements or third parties will take a long time. I mean, we're talking at least 25, 30 years, if not longer. But at this point, it needs to be attempted because the road that we're on with our corruption in government all across the board, which is totally controlled by corporate interests, there simply isn't any other way out that I can see. I'm not asking for a violent revolution. That usually backfires big time. So, change comes slowly, but it's not going to be the kind of change that Obama promised. In fact, we probably need to go against the grain, as usual. This can be done peacefully, but it will take time. And hopefully it's not too late. Although, there is the possibility that it actually might be too late. At least from my generation, or those coming immediately after me. Because these problems are not going to be easy to solve in a peaceful way. Good night.